Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Thursday. This is Game Day Live. I'm your host, Sam Wu, here with Vinnie, Parise of Pucks and Pitchforks blog inside the Primetime Radio studios, streaming live on Facebook Live at Let's Go Devils Podcast, Twitter Live at Let's Go Devils Pod, YouTube Live, the YouTube channel, Let's Go Devils, and Twitch at Let's Go Devils Podcast on the Primetime Radio Network. Devils about to take on the New York Islanders, or shall I say, lose fish sticks. That's what I'm going to say. Fish sticks.
I like that name. It's a good way to refer to them. I thought you were gonna say the New York Island Devils. That would be a good name for them, huh? They got Parise, Palmieri, Andy Green. They had Zajac for a minute there. And Lou Lamoriello, obviously. It seems like they're adopting the old Devil way of playing the game. So that's kind of where I thought you were gonna go with it, but I like it. The Lou Lamoriello's fish sticks. That's hilarious.
Yes. If I hear echo. Sorry.
I had headphones.
You got your headphones? All right, put on your headphones, Vinny. All right, so I'm not at Taj Lounge 973, but if you are at Taj Lounge 973, guess what? Try the catfish because we're beating the fish sticks tonight. Meow, meow. Devils on a big, I would say not big, but I think they're about to embark on a big run right now. The Islanders are a little bit of a different team than the Florida Panthers. Florida Panthers were on the second half of a back-to-back. The first they lost to the Rangers, then they lost to the Devils with their backup goaltender. But the Islanders seem to be kind of a tougher team. But, Vinny, going into this game, more than anything, I think the Devils have a lot more confidence than they've had in a while.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, like you said, the Florida Panthers were a second half of a back-to-back. They played the same goalie on back-to-back nights. He gave up 4 or more in both games. But we're talking about Spencer Knight, of course. It's still the Florida Panthers. It's still the team that went into the game, 10-1-1? You know, one of the best teams in the league, if not the best team in the league. They're loaded with talent up front. They have Huberdeau. They have Barkov. Tons of skill. Awesome back end. And the Devils took it to them. So I think the Islanders are not as good as Florida right now, but doesn't mean they can't play better than them in this game. It also doesn't mean the Devils can't take that performance from Florida and try and build on it. And that's exactly what I'm expecting tonight here against the New York Islanders. They might not win. I hope they win. But that last game, in my opinion, was proof that they can stand up with anybody. They're going to get Dougie Hamilton back. We'll probably talk about that in a couple minutes here. But, I mean, doing that, what they did to Florida without Hamilton, without Hughes, I'm not walking into this game just assuming the Islanders are going to beat them like I might have in recent years.
Yeah, well, look at how the Devils have been winning, or at least getting points in the last 3 games. They've been clawing back. There is no quit in this New Jersey Devils team, and that's a good thing because it tells me that they are confident enough to overcome adversity, that they actually have a strong mindset where if they're down 1-0, not a big deal. Or when the Panthers started to take the lead, thinking, uh-oh, in the second period, uh-oh, and guess what happened? The confident and the renaissance of Andres Johnson, or Andre Johnson, is what we call on the Let's Go Devils podcast, formerly known as the Pro Bowler of the Houston Texans. But I think right now that no team should really not take the Devils seriously. But with that division, the Metropolitan Division being so competitive, that I think the Devils can kind of slide under the radar for the time being and start putting 2-point games into the standing record.
Yeah, and if they can keep getting contributions from guys like Andreas Janssen, who is just on fire playing with Dawson Mercer, who has probably been one of their best players.
Question. Um, is ESPN screwing with us with Johnson, Brott, pronunciation of these names, or is somebody screwing with ESPN? Because I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, and these are like some good hockey people that are just like completely screwing up these names. A name like Brad, like if you're getting Johnson and Janssen mixed up, I guess I kind of get it. You probably should do your homework a little more, but at least I like understand it from a phonics point of view. But when it comes to Jesper Bratt, like how do you take Bratt and get brought out of that? I that doesn't make sense. So at least they played better than their names were pronounced. I'll say that.
Yeah, and look, Jesper Bratt, Andres Janssen, both players that struggled at times. Not at times. Well, Janssen more than Bratt last season. I wrote him off. I think a lot of people have wrote him off, but he seems to be so far the clear-cut most improved player of the New Jersey Devils right now. Also, Pavel Zacha, he's still scoring, man. He's been the Mr. Consistent, Mr. Reliable, the big centerman. 2015 6 overall pick, which we've harped on, but last season we started to jump on the Pavel Zacha bandwagon because the guy's pretty reliable and he's earning his pay.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if they rush him into the league too early. Because when he came in, he scored in his first game, or he had a point in his first game, and he looked like someone who really can live up to that 6th overall status. And then he started to go multiple games in a row without scoring and keep collecting points. And some of the players drafted after him started to become superstars like Matthew Barzal or Mikko Rantanen or Zach Werenski. All these guys started to elevate their games. And then there's Pavel Zacha just not really contributing much to the New Jersey Devils. But then you start to take a look at the statistics and it's like, whoa, he's only 23. This was last season.
Yeah.
Now he's 20. He's 24. It's like a lot of guys don't come into the league until they're this age, or really start showing their true potential until they're this age. So what is 28-year-old Pavel Zacha going to look like? What's 29-year-old Pavel Zacha going to look like? And if you check the score sheet from last game, you're going to find Alexander Holtz's name. You're going to find Dawson Mercer's name. You're going to find Pavel Zacha's name. You're going to find Nico Hischier's name. You're going to find, and then around them, you're going to find Ty Smith's name. I just named at least one first round pick from, what about Michael McLeod? I'm naming all the first round picks from the last 5 or 6 years, and they are all making contributions to this team right now. The only one I didn't name, besides Shakir Mohammadulin, who hasn't made the NHL yet, is Jack Hughes. So Pavel Zacha might be a better first round pick than some people will ever give the Devils credit for. I know that regime that drafted him is no longer with us, but I mean, he's a good player. And seeing him have success and driving the net like a winger and taking advantage of some of his elite talented centermen, I'm all for it. I'm happy to see him having success. He was a big key to victory against the Panthers.
Michael Viola says, I don't think Hines was the right coach for him. And I think that's a fair point. I think that's a good point. Maybe that there was something there. But he was young. He was young. You know how we were when we were young. He has developed into a really consistent, big player for the New Jersey Devils that you can rely on him for scoring. The one person you can't rely on right now is Tomas Tatar, which that's what he was brought to the New Jersey Devils to do, is score. Now, he did get on the point sheet last game, but so did a lot of players. But, if he doesn't start putting up some kind of, you know, uh, let's just say getting onto the score sheet with goals rather than assists, but goals, uh, uh, he may be riding the pine. Because right now you got Sharon Govich that's, had to take a timeout and sit out for a game. But what's nice is there's a lot of competition here that you can hold players accountable. Not saying that he's not trying, but, at some point you got to finish.
Yeah, last game you had guys like Sharon Govich and Geertsen sitting on the bench. Well, we know the physicality that a guy like Geertsen can bring. You know the kind of goal scoring that a guy like Sharon Govich can bring when he's on. So maybe Tatar flips in and out for one of these guys. And, I've seen people calling for Kuokkanen to get a game off. Just the fact that there are 4 or 5 players here, I just named them all, that could be inserted and taken out as needed as the season goes along. That's a good thing. And that's something that the Devils haven't really had in recent memory, and that's what's allowed them to kind of be a bad NHL team relative to their competition. Finish in the basement of the Metropolitan for all these years. And now it's like, oh, you might bench a guy like Tatar? Things must be going pretty well. And then if they bench him and then he comes out and scores, then they look like geniuses and they have an extra goal in that game. So I'm all for the possibility of it. If you're not scoring, take a seat. You'll get back in there eventually for somebody else who's not scoring. And as long as the top guys keep playing like the top guys, figure out a way to get the most out of the bottom 6.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Speaking of the bottom 6, fourth line, Jimmy Vesey, he is more valuable than ever right now. With Miles Wood being out indefinitely, the Devils are going to need, if Lindy Ruff is able to roll 4 lines, it gives the Devils a better chance to win the game. So the pressure's not on, the top line all the time. Without Jack Hughes, again, for a few more weeks, hopefully, and obviously there's been other injuries as well, that Jimmy Vesey and what the amount of production they're getting out of him has surprised me quite a bit. But he did have a great camp. He earned a spot. And the key thing is he hasn't let up yet. He is always contributing night in, night out, whether he scores on the gets on the score sheet. But, I think this is where the Devils sort of miss Bastian right now, because what other grinders do they have physically that they could take on the opponents, knowing that Miles Wood could have filled that role?
Yeah, I mean, if there's a need for someone like Geertsen, who I already mentioned, he wasn't on the in the lineup rather last game against the Panthers. You probably figure you don't need him against the Panthers. But we haven't seen the lineups for today's game yet. But against a team like the Islanders, you might find a guy like that. But I agree, it's definitely a void left by Nathan Bastian. You've seen someone like Michael McLeod kind of change his role as being a top 6 forward. Didn't really work out for him to start his career. He's still got loads of skill. We all know how impactful he can be in the offensive zone from time to time, but he's also a bigger dude who could bring physicality. There's also some players on the back end. Dougie Hamilton's a big guy. Obviously Graves. We've seen Subban get a little physical. You're probably not going to get too much physicality out of someone like Ty Smith or Damon Severson, but there are other players from around the lineup that can match intensity. Even someone, this might surprise some people to hear me say this, Nico Hischier is not a small dude. He's been feisty. He's found himself in the quote unquote dirty areas. So someone like that can make an impact in a similar way too. And I like what you said about Jimmy Vesey. He does what he needs to do to help the Devils win. This is a guy who won the Hobie Baker Award when he was playing his college hockey. He knows what it takes to be a good player in whatever role is handed to him. And like the empty net goal he scored the other night was a perfect example. If they're winning by one, he probably doesn't take that shot. But because he knows if he ices the puck, they still have a comfortable lead. Get it out of the zone, take care of your business, and you hit the empty net. Like I just love little small thinking plays like that. And so I've been impressed with him just as much as you have.
Well, I'm actually impressed with the Devils franchise with Hobie Baker winners that they've had in the past. Let's go through the list if you think about it. And I'm just naming on the top of my head. We may have to fact check here, but Mike Motto started his career with the Rangers, very similar. BC guy, didn't really work out well, but I thought Mike Motto had a decent, productive career with the New Jersey Devils as well. Was Brian Giunta Hobie Baker winner? I believe he was.
Ooh.
With BC.
I want to say he was.
And Brendan Morrison, was he one as well? We're talking late 90s. Hey, we got to fact check ourselves. Help me out, social media. I'm just.
I think Zach Parise. I think Zach Parise came in second one year too, when he was like the highest vote getting freshman of all time. Sticks out in my head for some reason.
Yeah.
And of course, Will Butcher. Will Butcher was in contention. I don't know if he won it when he was with Denver.
I don't think Parise won it.
No, I don't think he won it. I think he came in second.
Oh, okay. See, Brendan Morrison, he was one of my favorite players on the Devils. Just didn't stay long, but he was part of that big trade, with Vancouver. Let's see here, Michigan Wolverines. Yep, won the Hobie Baker Award as the NCAA Player of the Year 1997. Brendan Morrison. Let's look up Brian Giunta. Brian Giunta.
For some reason, I feel like he did.
Brian Giunta. I am looking it up right now.
What year would it have been?
Did win a national championship. No, I don't think it doesn't say. It doesn't say. I mean, he was the captain of the team.
He was nominated in 1999 and 2000.
Okay. Well,
and 2001.
Hosed.
And 3 straight years. 3 straight years of being nominated. I see a nomination for Ryan Carter, who famously played for the New Jersey Devils. Zach Parise came in third in 2004. It's funny seeing the names that like finish ahead of some of these like all-star NHL players. Andy Green came in fourth one year. Yeah, that's a good memory there, Sam. The Devils do have some, even if they didn't necessarily win the award, players that were in serious contention. Jimmy Vesey came in third in 2015 when Jack Eichel won it, and then in 16 he won it himself. Okay, I nailed Will Butcher, 2017. Yep, there's some good Devils names out here. It'll be interesting to see where someone like Luke Hughes finishes. I know he's not even the most productive player on his current Michigan team right now, but 10 points in 10 games for him. It'll be interesting to see where he finishes in the race.
Yeah, Daniel on the Facebook Live says, Fabian Zetterlund, bring him up. Bring down Tatar, your thoughts. He is 5'11". Look, I like Fabian Zetterlund, but keep him in Utica. Let him develop some more. I think Tatar should stay with the Devils and figure it out, because that's why they're paying him big bucks. Also, I'm looking at the YouTube Live. Tony P, we want the cup. Stepdad, how long is Dougie Hamilton out? The game is on ESPN Plus. I'm joking when I say this, but he's day to day for the next 5 weeks.
Dougie Hamilton's playing tonight.
Yeah, they said that last game, but I think this time.
Well, they said last game he was taking warm-ups.
Okay. Yeah.
If I had to guess, I would say he plays today based on the way, because Lindy Ruff said I anticipate him playing tonight.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I think. Last game day live, it was Chico and I, and he had him actually down as in the starting lineup. So, But you never know. You never know. They never tell us anything till like 6:45 p.m. Eastern, or 20 minutes prior to the game. Don't want to tip your hand.
I would like to ask Chico if he has an answer for why they do that, because I can't recall a Devils team at least ever, and Lou Lamoriello kept everything to the chest, but we knew what starting goalie was playing that night. At least it was always Brodeur, I guess. But
so ESPN Plus has the game. How many games are on? Is MSG lost the majority of the games? I haven't even checked. How does that all work?
See, it's funny. I didn't know that it's on ESPN Plus. Or is that just an absolute fact? Because on my app, it says it's on MSG and MSG Plus.
I'm just based on what Stepdad says.
One is the Islanders broadcast, and one is the MSG. Obviously, one is the Islanders, one is the Devils, being on MSG and MSG Plus. I'm wondering if by that comment he means that you need ESPN Plus to stream it, because that's what I do. I stream MSG through ESPN Plus, but I don't think it's an ESPN Plus exclusive like it was on Monday or Tuesday, rather.
Yeah, so it's probably a simulcast, if I'm not mistaken. But if I'm gonna watch, 100%. I'm definitely gonna watch. I'm definitely gonna watch Dano and Kanji do the call. Listen to Bryce, Erica. I mean, that's our crew right there. That's what they used to do back in the day. If you remember, back in the 90s, you would have a simulcast. You would have the local feed and you would have the national feed back in the day.
Yeah, that's interesting. Normally when a game's on ESPN Plus, it says it on the NHL app next to MSG. I fast forward to tomorrow and it says that Arizona versus Chicago is ESPN Plus. Same with Edmonton versus Buffalo. Meaning the ESPN specific broadcasters are calling that game and not the Chicago guys, not the Arizona guys, not the Buffalo guys. But for the Devils Islanders game today, it literally just says MSG and MSG Plus. So I'm wondering if, like I said, that comment was just saying that you got to go through the ESPN Plus app to watch it. But I still think you get, as you refer to them, our people.
Yeah, so I just got a text on MSG per DirecTV guide, and also Stepdad says shared streaming rights, MSG, and on ESPN Plus for streaming. Hey, Devils fans, I got a poll question for you. Which feed are you going to be watching tonight? Tell us now. You can comment below, YouTube Live, comment in the Facebook Live, or tweet us at Let's Go Devils Pod. My guess it's going to be the people that don't have access to MSG, such as Comcast customers, will watch the ESPN Plus. It's better than nothing. Some will listen to Devils Hockey Network, Matt and Chico, and some will watch MSG, the ones that are fortunate to have it.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see what options it gives me if there actually is an ESPN Plus specific broadcast, because normally it just blacks out everything else, and that's it. That's your only option. So that would be news to me if there's actually a third broadcast.
Yeah. And anybody that's at Taj Lounge 973 that's listening or watching right now, obviously I'm not there. Had to work late today. But if you're going to eat the catfish, send us a picture. Post it on Facebook or Facebook page or Facebook group, Let's Go Devils, or tweet us at Let's Go Devils Pod, or tag us on Instagram. I don't know. We have an Instagram account, but, Shorts Guy and Beer Baron manage that one, but you know how that goes.
That's funny. Yeah, tag us all in it. I want to see what people are eating. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm starting to base what people eat on my prediction for the game. So we have updated standings. We have updated standings of what Sam Wu decides to eat before each game and how that impacts the team when they play, whether it be the home or road games.
Not gonna lie to you, I love the lobster tails, but 0-1 is 0-1, and I don't want to be that guy to take the risk. Because
you
it'll
need
be
you need
unhappy
to.
Devils recap after the game.
And I was gonna say, don't try it to you on Tuesday because they're playing the Florida Panthers, and like you kind of go into that game thinking the worst, hoping for the best. But you would have looked like a genius if you ate it during that game. You would have ended that curse nice and early. But
Yep.
It is what it is. Maybe try it when they play a team considered to be a weaker team. But those are always trap games, so maybe don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah, but Vinny, when I go out on the road, I've already talked to, when we go to Cocoa Beach, Devils Panthers, we're going to eat the fish tacos there. But Amalie Arena, I don't know if I could get food, but I was talking to Pasta Grill by Enzo's in Hackettstown. Is there any way we could use dry ice and export his bolognese down and see if it could hold up for a few days and and eat it at Amalie Arena in front of the Tampa Bay Lightning fans? That sounds disgusting.
That certainly
actually,
would be something.
Yeah, we're gonna try. We're gonna try something, or maybe export catfish nuggets for the.
Do you say Taylor ham or pork roll?
Oh, it's always been Taylor ham. I don't even know what the other thing is.
Okay, so you gotta get some Taylor ham and bring it down there. Maybe eat that in front of the people. Be like, this is what's coming.
Believe it or not, there's a Publix near Disney World that actually carries Taylor ham.
Is that right?
I swear to you. Yeah, that's I was shocked. But then again, I'm not shocked because every snowbird relocates, to get out of Jersey, and get the tax benefits as well, can enjoy their Taylor ham.
I was gonna say, I feel like if you go to Florida, you can have Taylor ham, a slice of deep dish Chicago, and poutine from Montreal all in the same day because it's just a bunch of people from all over the North and the Midwest going down to Florida.
Oh yeah, we used to have poutine at Dino's bar. Is it Dino BBQ restaurant outside Prudential Center? They used to have that as well. Not the same like Montreal, but if we do play Montreal, I should have poutine brought to us.
Yeah, for real. They probably felt the need to have it right outside the Prudential Center, even if it was like a diet version of it, just while Marty was in town. Because I've heard that guy just loves himself his poutine. But, I'm interested to try Taylor ham once I've never tried it my whole life. And all I see is people arguing over what it's called. And, I'm pretty sure Nick Villano, our good friend Nick Villano, I'm pretty sure he's a pork roll guy. And you say Taylor ham, and then there's the whole argument
Nick Villano
over it.
doesn't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But Ryan Gardner says, should be a fun atmosphere at the Rock tonight. I'll be listening to Sweet Sounds of Matt Lachlan. I listen to them, sometimes at Taj when we're breaking down. Let's see here. Oh wow! I just got a invite to go to Devils versus the Boston Bruins in Boston on January 4th, 2022. I may have to go on the road then. I just got an email. I'll have to settle that. Sorry, I just got distracted.
Hey, maybe we'll join you. My brother's a diehard Boston Bruins fan, so maybe him and I will take a trip over to Boston and we could do the Let's Go Devils podcast together.
You're not going to find any Taylor ham out there.
No, but we can eat crab cake and maybe a good lobster tail with some chowder.
Wow. Chowder. Yeah. And if the Devils lose, I'll jump in the harbor. The infamous Boston Harbor.
I don't know what I would eat if the Devils lose in Boston.
Oh, I don't know. Anyway. Vinny, let's go over predictions tonight. I already put mine on Hockey Buzz. I want to hear your predictions.
Yeah, this is tough. I'm never going to pick the Devils to lose on this show. They would go 82-0 if I was in charge. I actually think they're going to pull out, take the momentum from that game against Florida. You're not going to score 7 against the New York Islanders. If you do, I don't know what I'll say. I might tweet some bad things if they score 7 on Florida or on the Islanders. Like I might tweet some things that get me on Old Takes Exposed by January. But I'm going to go 3-2 Devils in overtime over the New York Islanders.
Wow. And this is the one question I can't stand on Hockey Buzz. What are the lines? Is Hamilton playing? Hasn't been released yet. They don't release that stuff. What are we supposed to do? Bug their phones? Eavesdrop? Have a spy cam in the locker room to find out? Jeez. My prediction 4-1 Devils. I think they continue their success, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. The Islanders are the Islanders, but I think this team has a newfound confidence right now. They're doing it without Jack Hughes. They did it without Dougie Hamilton. There were times where they didn't even have Blackwood or Bernier. Miles Wood hasn't been around all season. So I think these guys have a mentality of next man up. And then when Daniel said, bring up Fabian Zetterlund, which I like that player. Don't get me wrong. Mr. Tice Thompson and Jesper, or is it Jesper? I don't know. Boquist. I don't even know how to pronounce these freaking names. But anyway, they're looking to score and separate themselves from the rest of the pack. They can't just stand around and just say, hey, pass me the puck. No, they're going to be hungry. Lindy Ruff, as what we're finding out, is holding players accountable. He'll give you a chance. But if you're like Sharon Govich, ride the pine. Jesper Bratt, or should I say Jesper Bratt, ride the pine for a couple periods and see what he did. And it's working. And last game, look at the special teams. Now, can we put another game in a row together of a 0-4 whatever penalty kill and maybe a 3-4-5 power play? That would be nice. That would be nice, Vinny.
That certainly would be nice. If they do that, they have a good chance to win. I think special teams could be where games are won and lost against a team like the New York Islanders, who will play I don't know about a perfect game. Nobody plays a perfect game at 5-on-5, but they're going to be steady 5-on-5. They're going to be hard to play against. So play well on special teams and you'll give yourself a chance to win, Devils.
Well, that's all for now. Enjoy your time at the game. Enjoy the catfish at Taj Lounge 973. Devils After Dark. Scotty and I will go through the game that was, recap the game that was. And Vinny, it was a pleasure. And I can't wait for next week. I'm already thinking about Tampa and Cocoa Beach. The fish taco.
Absolutely. That's going to be a blast for you. I'm excited to join you on the pregame show, and hopefully the Devils can take care of their business against the Lightning. But can't look too far ahead. Got to get some points leading up to that. The Islanders, the Bruins over the weekend, so we'll see what happens.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining in. Enjoy the game, everybody. This is Game Day Live. Till next time, let's go Devils.